Hello all, right, this is another one of these what I've now started to refer to as straight from the horse's mouth videos, which is kind of like, I've done a load of videos about how I see it, but then a load of you watch the videos have been kind enough to say, Pete, this is how it happened for me. And I used to do this as part of the Sunday Q&A, but the problem with that is the fact that if I do it as a Sunday Q&A and then somebody watches the video in 3 months' time, then you don't get the benefit of you might miss out on the point. So what I've decided to do is, rather than whack them all in with a Sunday Q&A, I'm doing them as separate videos. So if you watch, so we talk about like the 11-hour driving time, then responses, then more responses, and if someone actually wants that topic, they can get onto it. So anyway, enough about the behind the scenes. Let's get to you guys, straight from the horse's mouth. So we've been talking about the fact that they recently changed the law, and now you can drive for 11 hours twice a week, whereas before it was 10. And it's to do apparently with the IR35, which I'm getting to the bottom of. Thank you very much to Nick the Urban Trucker, and I'm going to do a bit of research. We'll do one on that. And it's just driver shortage. Is it driver shortage? There's enough drivers. Pay them what they're worth. But anyway, so I'm going to go on to it again, the fact about what you think about the 11 hours. Also, 11 hours now, how it relates to vans. Sean Gill-Martin says vans are under UK domestic driving laws, 11 hours working, which means no more than 10 hours driving. Well, that may be, Sean, but I know that on the work time directive, you can work for 13 hours a day, and twice a week, 3 times a week, you can work for 15 hours a day. And you can, as a truck driver, you can drive for 10 hours, and now it's 11. So I think that might have changed, my friend. As it is, I mean, I can't see how they would say as a truck driver you can drive for like 10 hours a day, and as a van driver you can also drive for 10 hours a day. The way I understood it was there are no particular rules about driving under 3.5 ton. You can drive a car 24/7 as a taxi driver, theoretically, but what you are up against is you're up against the fact that you have to drive responsibly. And if they can prove that, you know, you started driving at 6 o'clock in the morning and the following morning at 6 o'clock you were still driving, you hadn't had a break and you had an accident, they will do you. They'll do you for without due care and attention. They'll do you for like sort of reckless life endangerment. They'll pick something to do you for. So I think really under 3.5 ton you're not regulated particularly by any of the rules, but they are expecting you to be responsible. And it's okay, because in fairness, you're not driving 26 tons. So if you plough your car into a shop, it's not going to do, or you know, sort of like a bus stop for the people, it's not going to do the same damage as if you drive a 26 ton truck into a bus stop. It will do damage, but it won't do the same damage. So you're not under the same regulations, but at the same time they do expect you to be responsible. As Steve Campbell also said, van drivers are UK domestic hours. I think it's 11 hours. So that would again fall in line with what is currently the lorry thing. I say I don't think it's set in stone. It's the lorry thing that's more set in stone. But again, it's be responsible. Take your breaks, because if you come unstuck, they'll have you. And also, you know, you don't want to come unstuck. Domain name guy says, if you've combined your driving time and your work time, etc., you need to have 42. Yeah, it's basically it's the 45-hour break, 15 hours then 30. It's the kind of thing we've done a video on. I think it's that side, isn't it? We've done a video on how the kind of thing works. Like, you know, he says try this simple test. When you're on X break during the day, put your tacho on 15-minute break with the ignition on and the ignition off. This is to do with how tachos work, and you've got to be aware of your driving times. At the same time, like the other day, I was on break, I'm backed up to a bay, I'm letting them do the thing, I'm over there having a cup of tea, they go, we're ready now. And so you have got a minute when you're allowed to move it. So what I did is I jumped in the lorry, moved it, you move very slowly, 30 seconds, parked it up, put it on bed, and my 22 minutes disappeared. It's very involved. The tacho thing is very involved. The best way to do it, as what Daniel said, the best way to do it is just run for like 4.25 hours, stop for 45 minutes, run for 4.25 hours and stop. But it's not, that's great if you're running Arctics. If you're running on the exchange, it's not quite so straightforward. It's one of, I mean, I have done a video again on how I run tacho things and all that kind of stuff. It's involved. If you don't want to get involved, get yourself a Luton curtain with a Luton curtain side with a tail lift. Otherwise, welcome to the world. It's kind of cool, but anyway. But yeah, there is a thing about, you know, turning keys on and turning off, and sometimes the tacho head doesn't do what it's supposed to do. These are things I'm learning. I'll get better. Urban Trucker, again, back on the 11-hour driving limit. It says, on the 11-hour driving limit, so I can't see a problem with changing drivers' hours. I'd like to see a standard limit of 10 hours a day, split 5 hours instead of 4.5 hours. This makes some sense because that 10-hour thing can be painful. You can drive for 4.5 hours, stop for 45 minutes. Drive for 4.5 hours, stop for 45 minutes if you want to drive for the following hour. Why not just say, and then you can do that twice a week. Rather than complicate things, why not just say, you can drive for 10 hours a day. Forget the 11 hour. Forget it. Say every day you can drive for 11 hours, but you must make sure that you have a 45-minute break between the two. It would absolutely that makes absolutely perfect sense to me. You know, you don't have to drive. It's not a target. You don't have to drive for 10 hours a day. Your maximum drive time is 10 hours a day, and you have to have a 45-minute break in between. It would really sort of simplify the whole system, which at the moment is a little bit like sort of, you know, rubbing your head while doing your tummy, like, you know, sort of, you know, okay. And it would get more time, and it would give you more time to clearance. And I still think that it'll be relatively safe. So I'm on board with that one as well myself, you know, sort of. He says with like this, the increases in 9s and 10s and increased maximum. To me, that makes perfect sense. So I'm with you on that one. Steve Campbell. Hello, Steve. How are you, mate? He says, Hawthorns, presumably who he's working for, are focusing on us going on to the 11th hour. Are not focusing on us going to the 11th hours. We can choose the extra time for driving if we choose. If not, they still plan for an 8.5 hour driving day. Well, this actually makes good sense to me as well. I spent one day where I thought, let's see how this 11th hour works. Managed to overshoot my driving time by 11.5 hours and went, right, that's it, I'm signing that one off on my sheet now. I'm not playing that game anymore. Jeff Seymour says, hi Pete, what I was told by the agency when IR35 came in, I lost a lot of drivers. Yes, Jeff, we're trying to get onto this IR35 thing. It's to do with not being able to work for companies turning over a lot of money without being self-employed, I think. But when I get the video sorted, mate, I will get onto it. Longfinger, it says, heard on the news Tesco's are offering a grand tax-free for new drivers. This upsets me as well, because this is like kind of like your golden handcuff type thing, isn't it? It's like, come with us, we'll give you the money, the grand, and then we'll carry on paying you £12.50 an hour. No, don't. No, just pay. You know, somebody's worth what they're worth. Pay. These people are responsible professionals. They've like it's £2,000 or so to get through your test. You're driving 44 tons. You've got to be on the ball. It's not stacking shelves. Actually start recognising these people for the professionals they are and paying them the money they're worth. Don't give them a grand and then go, yeah, but we'll carry on paying you pittance forever. No. Just give a decent daily rate, fair day's work for a fair day's pay. I think this is what we're after, guys. This is my take on it. That's the way I see it. Grand would be nice, but you know, it's gone like that, and then it's like I'm back to £12.50 an hour. I don't think so. Brandon Joy says, driver shortage. He said, I've just tried to book my class 1 and my trainer, the DVSA is restricting the test, so the best I could do is put me on a waiting list. So he's saying he's actually trying to book a test. It's all to do, it's all come on top on it. It's come on top with the Brexit, it's come on top with the IR35, it's come on top with the COVID, and everybody wants everything delivered, and now suddenly there's no one to deliver stuff, and they're all going, oh, well, you know, guys, we've all run the Brexit, we've all run the COVID thing, we've all run with masks on, we're out of work. You know, you've got to work. You want the country to keep going, you've got to work. And finally, I'm going to give the final word. I'm going to call this a day now on this 11th hour thing. I think it's drained off long enough. But once again, thank you very much for all of your contributions, and I hope anyone who's been watching these videos, I hope you got something out of it. I hope it's helped. The final word this time goes to Godzilla's, who says, tip of the day, don't write on the printout, haven't a clue. He said that doesn't go down well. He said they like to see a simple mistake. So when you basically made a mistake and you do the printout and you take don't write, don't know what went wrong there. He says,
They like to see a simple mistake, such as misreading the clock, or you say hammer's not bed. That is exactly what happened to me actually once. You know, on one of my recent infringements, he said they can get stroppy. If you put no idea, they can insist that you take a course and clearly you don't know what you're doing, and it comes down to driving hours tachos, and you have them highlighted. Let's face it, no one wants the DVSA's attention and them dropping the traffic light system. This is what you do. If you make a mistake on your 11th hour, do the printout. Tell them what went wrong. Right, I've got a book. I haven't got a diary because I find it a waste of paper, but I do the printout. I write my name on the back of the printout. I sign the back of the printout. I clip it to the book and I go, this is what happened. This is why it happened. And this is what I'm going to do to stop it happening in the future. And then I try, hopefully, to get back to no more infringements. No more infringements, green traffic lights, new operator's license. Bing bong. Guys, thanks for listening. Hope the horse's mouth videos are working out okay. Let me know in the comments if it's cool or if not, and I can just change things accordingly. And in the meantime, take care. Take money.